Hello there and welcome back for day 10. Can't believe we're a third of the way through October already of our energy boosting tips for breast cancer survivors. So as you know, or you probably know at this point, right, I decided this October I wanted to do something a little different. Like I really wanted to be able to give something that was of immense value to my tribe, my breast cancer survivors. Right? October, as we know, is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. It's a month that is often so difficult for anybody having gone through this journey. And it's just not always an easy time. And so I wanted to be able to give us something like positive to focus on, something that was going to help boost us versus deplete us, especially, October falls right before the holidays, a typically very stressful time. And so what if we can boost our energy to help us get through the holidays, right? And not feel so depleted all the time. That's the goal. So that's a little bit about why I wanted to do this 30 days of energy boosting tips. Now, if you haven't grabbed it yet, don't forget to grab your energy boosting calendar so that you can refer to these tips, so that you can invite them back in at a moment's notice. Most of them are either free or inexpensive. Most of them are easy and quick and very simple. That is with massive intention on my part, because we're already exhausted, right? We're already exhausted. And that is the truth for most breast cancer survivors, okay? I remember thinking, after I had seen my plastic surgeon for the last time and sitting in her office and thinking I should be really happy right now, but I was actually bawling my eyes out, like that stuff that comes from the gut that's super scary. And just holding on to her. And I actually said to her, I don't want to break up with you yet. I'm not ready. And I remember that it was just that sense of the safety net being ripped out from under me. And I've spoken to hundreds of survivors who had a very similar thing happen, which is, why I now work with breast cancer survivors at this time specifically, so that you don't have that feeling, because we don't have to have it. There are things that we can do. But I remember being shocked by how exhausted and drained I was. And there is something, and I remember even thinking, oh my gosh, is this normal? Is this normal, or is something not right? Is something wrong with me? I mean, for me, my treatment looked like 6 surgeries in the space of 2 years. I had literally gone through surgery, 3 months recovery, surgery, 3 months recovery. It was pretty overwhelming. And I'm talking major surgeries. I'm not talking little surgeries, major surgeries. And then dealing with the emotion of all of those, right? The emotion of having a double mastectomy, the emotion of having a complete hysterectomy, the emotion of going through reconstruction and it not working. I mean, removing my implants due to Baker grade 4 capsular contracture and over 20 breast implant illness symptoms, and now going flat. There are emotions related to every step of that journey, just as you've had on your journey, although your treatment may have been very different than mine, but there are emotions tied to all of that. And those emotions have a weight, right? Those emotions can be really heavy to carry, especially when we feel like we're not being understood. So today, and by the way, I'm Karen Del Maestro. You'd like to know that, right? If we haven't yet met. So I'm Karen Del Maestro. I'm your self-care coach, breast cancer and BRCA2 thriver. And this is day 10 of our 30 days of energy boosting tips for breast cancer survivors. And what I wanted to talk to you a little bit today is about toxic positivity and the opportunity that we have. Your tip is to call the right friend, right? So when we're talking about calling the right friend, and we're talking about, we want to be calling the friends who aren't going to be positively toxic. Maybe a new phrase that you're just hearing for the first time. Maybe you're aware of what that is. Maybe you feel it when you experience it, but you didn't know what it was called. So what is it, right? What is toxic positivity? Well, I think throughout our breast cancer journey, we all I haven't met anybody yet, come across people who say things that just jar us, that make us, that irk us in the worst way, that make us feel really like, oh God, really? Did you really just say that? Um, um, I remember somebody saying to me, when I was talking about my breast reconstruction, and they said, oh, wow, you're going to get bigger boobs. I remember a plastic surgeon saying to me after my double mastectomy, before looking at me for reconstruction and saying, oh, just flash me, it's fine. And if you haven't gone through breast cancer, you may be thinking nothing about these things, but it changes things. It just changes things, and it changes our sensitivity to things that we might not otherwise be sensitive to. There's no right or wrong here. We feel the way we feel. Our feelings are valid, period. That's it. And I know that, many people have told me stories about people saying things like, oh, you get a free boob job, or at least you had the easy cancer, or, well, you're going to get a couple of months off work, you'll get to rest, and you'll just bounce back. These are all versions of toxic positivity, right? What they're saying is positive. People are trying to be helpful, but they're not understanding that what they're saying is actually toxic. Now, P.S., if you are watching this either as a breast cancer survivor or not, I know a lot of my clients are watching these tips anyway to get more energy. It's all about, you're like, okay, well, Carol, what do I say then? I don't want to screw up. Like you're saying that to try and be helpful. Essentially, what I have gleaned from my own journey and the hundreds of women that I work with is just to say, you know what, I hear you. I can imagine that's not easy. What can I do to help? Know that I'm here for you. Keeping things really simple, right? We're not trying to make it better. You can't make it better. You can't make it better. We're going through our journey. It is what it is. Now, silver lining is queen over here. But I learned to not dismiss the bad stuff in order to see the silver lining, right? Still got to feel the bad stuff. Still got to sit in it. Still got to feel our way through it. We can still be optimistic about the outcome. We can still be optimistic about our daily life. We can still be optimistic without dismissing any thoughts that we're having and feelings that we're having that are not necessarily positive. Because if we don't acknowledge those feelings, they get stuffed down inside of us, and they are going to explode at some point or other like a big, massive volcano. That's the truth. So today's energy boosting tip is to call a friend, but the right friend. Not the friend that's going to throw all these, oh, you should have done this, you should have done this. Oh, you got a free boob job. Oh, great. Now you don't have to worry about cancer, or you've got the easy cancer, or any of these things. You're not going to call that friend when you're looking for energy, right? Those are the what do they call them? Energy vampires, right? Those are the friends that suck you dry. Those are not the people that we need to be calling at this point when we're looking to boost our energy. And it's okay. It's okay to set those boundaries and not be in touch with those people as much. In fact, setting boundaries is a massive part of what I teach. And being able to set those boundaries confidently and without feeling like you're being rude or mean or disappointing somebody. Those are crucial to taking care of ourselves. That's massive self-care. And that's how we get more energy, is by taking away those negative things, those toxic things, and those toxic people, and minimizing our exposure to them. It's okay. I give you permission. You're not going to be alone. You've got me in your corner. You've got tons of other people available to you. And I have groups where, the Healthy Living After Breast Cancer community is one of those places where we can connect because we all get it, right? So we need to connect with people who get it, or who are supportive with us while we're on this journey. The people who are just saying, oh, suck it up, get on with it. Oh, you can do this. Oh, I don't need to hear that you're tired again. Those are not your people. That's not what you need right now. if you ever need it, right? They don't get it. They haven't been through this journey. They don't know how it feels. Now, it doesn't have to be a breast cancer survivor who gets it. There are people out there who can be extremely supportive without having been through the journey. And those are the people that we want to be calling. Those are the people who you just want to call somebody and have a laugh, right? And feel some ease for a little bit. Or maybe you want to call somebody because you're having a bad day and you know they're going to make you feel better. So, when we're talking about energy, it's not just the physical energy, it's the mental energy, it's the emotional energy that we need to be really cognizant of, and rarely are, because we're just going through the motions. But we need to become very, very aware of those things if we truly want to get back our get up and go, if we want to get back our life, if we want to feel like ourselves again. These are things that we need to be looking at and being aware of versus just going through the motions. Okay, so I invite you today to start being aware. Think about, who can you call? If you don't have anybody, send me a message. Respond. If you're getting this in an email, just hit reply. Let me know how you're doing. Are you finding these tips helpful? Is there anything I can support you with? Right? If you're watching this on social media, shoot me a DM. Reach out. Pop into the Healthy Living After Breast Cancer community on Facebook. We're in there every day. We're having these conversations every day. Okay, you're not alone. You'll never be alone as long as you're in my tribe. So reach out and know that it's okay to reach out. Okay. So that's it for today. Okay. Call the right friend, not the wrong friend. And you know who they are. Your gut tells you, right? Think about, like, if your phone rings and you pick it up and you're like, oh no, decline. Or you just let it go to voicemail. There's times when you're busy and you can't pick up your phone, but there's other times where we choose, that's a boundary, to not pick up the phone because we just can't deal with it. You're like, oh, I can't deal with them today. Because you know how you're going to feel. That is your gut. That is you. That's your authentic self telling you that's not your person. And that's okay. That's okay. All right. I know it's not easy, but we're in this together and we're going to get through it together. And we're going to get through it with more energy. Even better, right? Okay. So that's it for today, guys. Again, I'm your host, Karen Del Maestro. You can find me over at karendelmaestro.com or in the Healthy Living After Breast Cancer Facebook community. It's always an honor to be here. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you're finding these tips helpful, and I hope to hear from you soon. Okay, bye for now.